Hello, you're listening to the Minnesota Pubcast, or MN Pubcast as we're spelled, but whatever, however you want to call us. I kind of like MN Pubcast.
Eventually, it's just got to go down to Pubcast, I think, actually. Just
I think
the
so.
Pubcast. But I don't
we're
think
going to expand.
We're not big enough yet to just be the Pubcast.
No, most listeners are in Minnesota and Wisconsin, we've found, correct?
Yeah, but it's a lot. I mean, we have been listened to, I believe, in a couple of other countries, actually.
That's
the last
cool.
time I checked the demographics, there was a couple of weird ones that I was like, hey, hell yeah, that's cool.
I kind of want to become big in Japan, because I feel like if you become big in Japan, you know that you've at least sort of made it, or you're weird enough to make it. Because Japanese cling on to this very strange part of American culture. Have you realized that?
Yeah, I feel you there.
And
but
why are they into that?
They also grab onto things that are huge, like baseball. Not just obscure things.
Baseball.
In Japan?
Yeah, I guess.
Biggest sport in Japan.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I mean, I knew they play baseball.
Oh yeah, baseball's huge in Japan. I mean, maybe soccer still might be bigger over there. I mean, soccer's bigger everywhere, but no, baseball's huge in Japan. But you're right. Otherwise, they usually pick very quirky things, very low-key things to latch onto.
Yeah, like pop culture stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we're here at O'Gara's. We're here live every Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. And you can come see us live. Or, like, tonight, it's horrible out, and it's the worst roads ever, so we'd rather you just be listening from your home anyway, because stay safe, guys.
And just, throw us on the way to the Wild game, because I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people driving that way. That might help you. People are going the other way. When you
Is there a Wild game tonight?
There's a Wild game,
oh,
yeah. They're playing
no.
the Blackhawks tonight.
Oh, no. Drive safe, Minnesota.
Yeah, be careful.
It's really, really bad out there.
Good luck parking.
Yeah. Wow, we are
positivity to start the show.
Super optimistic tonight. Yeah, good luck, everyone. Good luck getting there. Okay. Speaking of driving.
Yes.
Apparently, there's this new study. Not a study. What is it? Like a
it's a
survey?
Study because they went through and dug up statistics that showed safety-wise Minnesotans are apparently the best drivers in the country, which to me is absolutely ludicrous, scary, crazy, nuts. Here, I'll bring up the things that you judge by here. Okay, so it's fatality rate per 100 million vehicle miles traveled, failure to obey, meaning percentage of fatal crashes that are involved in that involve traffic signals, not wearing seatbelts, and driving with an invalid license, drunk driving, speeding, and careless driving. Really? I thought we would have been high on the drunk driving. I feel like Minnesotans got a high rate of drunk driving.
I don't know.
Not as bad as Wisconsin.
I think we do okay. I mean, we have, at least within the Twin Cities, we have fairly good public transportation.
True.
We have good buses. We have, a lot of cabs.
Yeah, Lyft, Uber, all that.
Yeah, and things aren't, too far apart. Like, I've been to some cities where it's, you have to drive. Like, LA, you have to drive because things are so spread out.
Yes.
But then, Phoenix, you have to drive. But then at the same time, I don't think when you get a DUI, I mean, you go to jail for the night, right? But then...
Usually, yes.
I don't think we're that, is the punishment that bad?
I know a lot of people with DUIs.
I do too!
They don't see... I will say they don't drink and drive, but other than that, I don't think they've really changed their behavior or changed their lifestyle, other than they went, I got caught, now I'll stop, so...
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of scary. But then, in Phoenix... So I'm bringing up Phoenix because my parents live in Scottsdale in the winter, and if you drink and drive there, they send you, I can't remember what they call it, but it's an encampment. Like and
Switzerland does? I think in Switzerland it's a life sentence. You never get your license back or something.
And in Europe you don't get your license back.
Yeah.
You just, I think Prague was like that. It was do not drive drunk because you will never get license back. There's no second chances. Mm-hmm. But you go to these tents. They put you in these pink jumpsuits and you have to stay in these tents overnight, for 3 days or something. It's it's pretty bad. So I'm always terrified of driving with one drink in
As
Arizona.
You should be.
I know, but one drink here, I'd have one, I'll have one drink, I'll feel completely safe to drive home because I know I'm under the legal limit. I know I'm I know kind of, I don't know, I know the streets, I know the roads, I'm not driving drunk, and I know that our law probably allows me to have one drink and drive home.
Probably.
Other places
Sometimes.
they don't.
It depends. That's what I hate. I don't like the arbitrariness of drunk driving laws, and that's not necessarily the road we're going down here. But I don't like that. I mean, you at .08 and me at .08 we could be at totally different levels mentally, physically. .08 for each individual is a different thing, and it depends on all kinds of factors.
Yeah, but you have to put a limit on it, right? I mean, you can't.
I just don't know if you can do it. I don't know if the breathalyzer thing is the way to do it, or if blood alcohol content is the way to judge. I think you judge by the way the person was driving and what they did and whether or not they hurt someone. I think all of those things should factor into it. I don't know how you just go, hey, you were at a certain blood alcohol level, you're doing something wrong. I don't think. I think you can obviously say at some point, 0.15 or something. I think everyone would agree that's fucked up.
Then it becomes too in the cop's hands.
Agreed. That's why they made arbitrary. Yes.
Right, and that's why it's like the cops can start giving out tickets. You can say, well, you have a .02, but you were driving like an idiot, and then all of a sudden,
But you can still do that. They can still say, if you don't blow a .08, but you still drive erratically, and they say you have alcohol in your system, they can still give you a DUI. So that's why the whole system's messed up. That's why actually, like you said there, and like in Switzerland and Europe and all that, how it's so severe. Mm-hmm. And let's just go that way. Let's just screw it.
But also we don't have a lot of public. I mean, okay, so like I said, we do like Twin Cities is fairly easy to get around in a cab. It's not ridiculously expensive. I can get from Minneapolis to St. Paul in like $25, which is a lot for some people. And now, we have the light rail, we have buses, but a lot of places don't have that. And Europe has that, though. Europe, almost every major city has a train system, has a really good bus system, has, whatever. And we just don't have that here, unless you're in New York.
And we deal with that reality by saying, look,
Chicago.
People are going to go out and drink, and we're not going to punish them that badly.
Right.
That's really what it's come down to, until you hurt somebody, and then it can step up a bit. But okay, so back to this crazy rating though that somehow puts Minnesota as the best drivers. What are your biggest problems with Minnesota drivers? I could probably go on and on, but let's go number one. What's the one thing you think that we do worse than other places that you've driven?
Well, I mean, we don't really know how to merge very well.
Oh, that's a really bad one, yes.
We're passive-aggressive people, so we become extra aggressive on the road.
Yes, because we have this capsule around us that protects us, and now we can be these egomaniacs that we wouldn't be in line at Target.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, I don't know. It's just like, one thing wrong goes happen and someone's like, it's just like, I don't know. I think we're kind of shitty drivers, but
I think we're horrible.
I mean, I think I'm a good driver.
And I think I'm a good driver as well.
I'm a really good driver.
Yeah, so
we're the
we
outliers.
may be the problem, kind of, actually, though. Maybe because we're like everyone else. But here's my biggest thing, and I don't do this.
Okay.
My thing that drives me nuts, and I swear I see it more here and more in the Twin Cities than I've ever seen anywhere else, is the failure to get over into the right lane. People just coast in the left lane all throughout Minnesota, from here to Duluth. It doesn't matter. And I swear you can go 30, 40 miles into Wisconsin, and it stops. Like, people get over. Truck drivers in Minnesota ride in the left lane, going 60. Yeah. They don't care. And it's the one thing, and I just read an article about it recently, that they're cracking down in some states. Because, first of all, it actually is dangerous.
It is.
Emergency vehicles are supposed to have that left lane clear for, if you're not passing, you're not in their way. Like, get out of the way. And it's just... Okay, I'll tell a quick little story. I'll never forget being in the back of my dad's car at, like, age 10. And he was going 55 in the left lane.
In a 55.
In a 55, yeah.
Yeah.
Or he wouldn't go under the speed limit, because this was his whole point. He's making a point.
Okay.
And that's what these fucking Minnesotans do. But so he stayed in front of this guy. This guy is literally on our bumper. I mean, like, damn near tapping us. And my dad's just giving him the wave. Giving like exactly like, hey,
wrong?
I see ya.
Are you? Or when you get boxed in. Okay, keep going.
He flies by, cuts us off, like,
in
damn near knocks us off the road.
Did he go over in the shoulder? Did he fly by
No, he went in the right lane. He somehow, found that hole and flew through there, and damn near took us off the road. And my dad never once again ever traveled under 75 in the left lane. Like, he learned that this stupid notion of you're gonna police people and you're gonna be the cop on the road and you're better and more than everyone and right and all that.
Right.
He realized, A, that's not worth the price of my family. Like, he's got kids in the car, for Christ's sake, and this guy's cutting them off. And B, it was just, that's not your role, man. It's just not. You're not. It's not gonna work. You can ride 55 in the left lane all day long, and you're not going to slow people down that want to go 80. They're going to get around you. And I just don't know what you're trying to prove, other than, I mean, in here, well, do I want to say this? Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I swear, it's. Well, I was going to say it's usually minorities, which sounds so bad. Let me explain.
Seriously, it's kind of true.
Well, yes, it is. But I just don't want to say.
Keep going.
Just minorities is that's so wrong in so many ways because it's not Mexicans and it's not black people. I'm talking about like African immigrants mostly.
Well, we have a lot of Somalians here, and so
and when I look over, I kind of because I'm pissed. I'm pissed. And you look
over,
I pass them in the right lane, and I look over and I'm like, oh yeah.
And they have no idea. They're just going, and they have no idea.
And I'm so much more okay with that than the typical Minnesotan driving down the road, and he's like, "Fuck you! I don't care that you can't get by me." If you're ignorant of it, that's fine to me. Like, I would rather you learn. I would rather somebody.
Right.
I actually wish that in when you get your license, this was something that was taught. That somebody would point out, "Hey, get the fuck out of the way. Please just move on over. Like that's not a big deal. That's all you gotta do." But for so many, they do not understand that one. And that's the one. And the reason I say that that's a Minnesota thing is I've driven in New York. I've driven in New Jersey. I've driven in California, and a lot of places in between. But I bring those up because you mentioned L.A. I think I drove in L.A.
I don't think I haven't. I've really only driven. I don't know. Keep going.
Well, because I've definitely been in a car in LA. I don't know if I actually drove around in LA, but I drove around in like Santa Barbara, and then I drove part of the way from New Jersey up to Boston. So for a couple of hours through that. So East Coast. What I learned was on the East Coast, it's so much. This relates to lifestyle so much, and just our personalities. Because on the East Coast, it's not personal, but get the fuck out of my way.
It's super aggressive.
I'm going 100 miles an hour in the left lane, and if
Chicago's
you're
like
going
that too.
95, you're going too slow. Yeah. And that's
Chicago
that more
gets
high-paced, that city style.
Yeah.
Where I just got too much going on, get out of my way. And we're in Minnesota, it's the person in the left lane that's in their way is like, well, what are you doing that's more important than me?
Right.
And we're in New York, it's like, I don't even care what you're doing, just get out of my way. Like it's
right.
But here it's personal, and out there it's not. And on the West Coast, you even kind of get that laid-back feel when it comes to the driving, even in traffic. It's still not the same attitude that you get from New Yorkers.
I didn't feel any pressure driving in Portland. I was driving around Portland, and I was like, there's nothing here to, no one's doing anything out of the ordinary. Like, there's no honking. No. There's no, bad merging. It's just, well, chill.
Yeah, and every time I drive around here, every single time I drive more than 5 minutes in the Twin Cities, I get pissed.
Oh, God.
There's always somebody doing something just idiotic.
So, driving here today. And the other thing I hate is when you're in the left lane and you're going, it's like a 70, right? Like I was just driving up to Lutzen this past weekend. Mm-hmm. In a 70, I'm going 77, 80, right? And I'm passing people, and still you get the one asshole that wants to go 90, 85, not safe fast. Mm-hmm. And they're on your ass, and you're like, I'm passing people. Wait till I pass people enough where then I can get over, and then you can move past me. And I had a couple of people do the thing where they do go around you, and they go around you, they don't use your blinker, and then they cut someone else off in the right lane, and then they cut you off in the left lane. And it's so scary.
I will say, though, when I have that person behind me that wants to go even faster than me, if I can sneak nice sound effect on the air. If I can sneak over to the right, even for just a sec. I know what you're saying, where you're still passing cars, so technically what you're doing, the left lane is fine.
I try and sneak over to the right.
I will sneak over just for a second, even let that guy get by.
Totally. That's exactly what I do,
just to get out of the way.
That's totally what I do. But it's super annoying when someone comes up out of nowhere because they decide they need to go 95, and you're 10 miles over the speed limit isn't fast enough, even though you're still going past people. I hate that. But I don't know what I was going to say next about the driving, but the driving over here sucked tonight.
Well, and here's one other thing I just want to bring up that I don't know if you've ever dealt with. Have you dealt with the left turn arrow where the first car goes? Have you ever been in a state where they do that?
No.
Do you picture what I'm saying, or can you understand what I'm saying? You're sitting in a stoplight, a left turn lane, so you get a green, you get
the green arrow? Or you
no,
just
a green light.
Okay.
But so you're turning left. So normally here in Minnesota, you wait until all the straight oncoming traffic goes by. Then you go.
Unless you have enough time and you're ready to go. And sometimes I do that.
Well, if you're quick enough. But what I'm saying is I'll never forget the first time I drove in New Jersey. My dad, I'm sitting at the light, and my dad says, because I'm going to go straight.
Yeah.
And my dad says, hold on, because I'm like, well, light's green. He's like, nope, that guy's going. Every time, the first guy gets to go.
They get the right of way.
That's
the person turning left
just
gets the right of way.
But just the one person, which never made sense to me. You got a line of 5 cars. The first guy gets to go, then the straight people, then it was the oddest thing to me. And I don't understand how it doesn't just cause accidents constantly.
I don't know.
At least with other people, from out of state trying to drive there, because that to me is just like, what are you really gaining? Like, to me, there's not enough of a benefit there to change that and for the risk anyway.
I have no idea.
We
Driving. But we are pretty good about driving in the snow. I mean, there are obviously accidents, but you compare that to anywhere else in the country that doesn't get a lot of snow very often, and there's hours of backup. And here,
I
like,
love when Texas has ice.
Oh God, or like DC.
Yeah.
And people are in the car for like 3 hours. And like tonight I was bitching. It took me an hour to get here from Minneapolis, which is like not good. But at the same time, like,
what's it? 8 miles? I mean, you're really
5.
not going. It's 5 miles.
It's 5
here?
miles.
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Yeah. It took me a long time.
So
It's
imagine if
slow.
you had a
It's
like a
slow,
rail
but it's,
line, elevated or something, or maybe below ground.
I
where
do
you
have.
wouldn't deal
There
with
is a rail line. Don't be an asshole.
No, but when you get to St. Paul, you gotta wait for a fucking stoplight. It's stupid.
Yeah,
You
but
know about that, right? Have we talked about that? Where the light rail in St. Paul has to stop for stoplights, but
Yeah,
not
but
in Minneapolis?
Yeah, it has to stop for stoplights in Minneapolis.
I thought it didn't.
Yes, it
or
does.
at least they streamlined it more.
It stops for stoplights.
Okay, all right.
The stoplights and the rail line are lined up.
I thought somebody had told me that they
No.
timed the lights in Minneapolis, and then
Well,
in
they
St.
might
Paul
have
they
timed
didn't
them a little
because they
bit
hate
more. But no, they have to stop.
it. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, whoever
there
told me
always
that,
stops.
fuck you. You're a lying asshole.
I mean, it's like the train fits between the stoplights anyway, so it never really feels like it's, you know what I mean? Like the stoplights are so close together that the train just like. Okay,
I
am I
don't
not
think
making
I'm
any
visualizing
sense?
what you're saying there.
Like between 5th and 6th Street, there's a stoplight, and the train takes up like a block.
Right, it doesn't.
So no matter
go
what, it's
pa-
not
yeah,
just going to go
yeah, I
through
know
the
what you're
red
saying.
light. Like, it's going to start again. It's going to start its service at the next
Sure,
stop
sure.
when light turns green. Like, there's not, like, it never has to slow down and stop for a light. Like, it's,
I wonder how
do you know what I
long.
mean? Like, here, it has to slow down and stop for a light because there's more spaces between lights.
Yeah, I got you. What I'm curious now, though, is would it take you
Doesn't make any
longer
sense.
to get from your work to the light rail, park somewhere, get on the light rail, get down here, get from the light rail station on University to here? Like, I don't think you're saving
No.
a lot of time.
No,
So
it would
where's
take
the-
me no time. The light rail is right in front of my office. But get on the light rail, come down here, and have to walk. That'd be it.
So just that walk from University down to here,
Yeah.
which would in the cold and snow sucks, but that's,
Right.
So
I
in
mean,
the
I can
summer,
make you
actually,
pick me
that
up.
would be nothing, or but that's I mean.
But then I have to get back on the light rail, and then I have to get
you
back
go
to
back
the.
to work.
I have to go
then
back
get
to
your
my car.
Yeah.
I could get on the bus and go home, but then that's a whole nother 30 minutes.
And you still got to get to your car at some point.
Well, my car would be at home. I take the
I
bus
see
to
what you're
work.
saying. Yeah. Jesus. See, this is why East Side, St.
I need
Paul.
another drink.
Yeah, we can tell. Jesus. Everything in St. Paul, and it's more where it's the spread out where everyone does drive, but God, it's so convenient when you can just get in and out of everywhere you got to go, and it's
Minneapolis isn't
so
that
much
bad.
less traffic.
Okay.
Just
whatever.
a less traffic over here. I don't know,
guess.
but you're coming from where everybody works, so I get why.
Yeah, it sucks.
All right, since we ranted about traffic
God.
and driving,
I'm sure the only people who will be interested in this are the Minnesotans that are listening because they feel us.
well, we have a lot of Minnesotans listening, though. That
Okay,
is the
great.
vast majority of our audience, and I think actually people outstate would find this interesting because they don't necessarily know
so.
what we're talking about.
I hope so.
All right, so I have another rant I want to go on before we break here. This stupid. Do you go to Fark at all? Fark.com.
No.
It's a great site for radio
That's
prep.
a
Like that's basically what it's
stupid
for.
name.
No, yeah, Fark. I think it might be the guy's name.
Okay.
Drew something.
Drew Fark.
No, it can't be. Why do you call it Fark? Maybe it was like what the Fark. I don't know. But anyway, it's seriously. I mean, every radio show in the country uses it to get their prep. I mean, it's just a great place to go. Just find a bunch of headlines of all kinds of different news stories. It's a great place to go. You should check it out.
Okay.
But every time I go on there to do show prep, I find this stupid story.
Okay.
That's this guy bitching about how all craft beer has gone the way of the hops and it's way too hoppy and everybody's hop and everybody's a hop head and it's ruining craft beer.
Okay.
And I keep seeing this, and the first time I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, this is interesting because I've kind of gotten sick of hoppy beer, and every once in a while, at least I go through phases where I'm not as into hoppy beer. And then I saw this, so I said I've seen this like 3 or 4 times. It's from 2013. It keeps popping up on a new day worth of
So people
of
keep reading it and
stories.
sharing
so
it?
I think so. People do
Yeah.
keep thinking it's new, and I guess I'm pissed off, A, because why do you keep putting this out there when it's not a thing? But B, what I'm pissed off about is that There are 3,000 breweries in the United States right now, I think. I love to go to liquor stores that are beer centric, that are beer focused. There's a ton of IPAs. Yes, hops have taken over the world. I'm a hophead. It's a big thing. It's all over. But it's not everything. There are so many different choices of beer that the fact that this person wrote the column, but B, that it's been shared constantly for 2+ years, it's what the fuck is wrong with you people? Why do you hate me because I love hops? What am I doing to change your beer drinking ability?
Because you're requesting it, so they think that by more people requesting it and wanting it, that's all they're going to be able to choose from, and that's all.
How ludicrous and stupid is that?
I don't know. I don't know these things.
In what other product is there a big demand for something and therefore all the other stuff disappears? I'm trying to think of where,
happen.
Because there's hoppy beer now, all of a sudden they're going to stop making stouts. Like, that just doesn't. I don't know what the argument is. I don't understand what this person's so upset about.
It's kind of like a wine person saying like, everyone should stop making Merlots because Merlots suck, and Merlots are for people who aren't real wine drinkers.
Well, you know where that all comes from.
I do.
The movie Sideways.
I know.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
That's maybe one of my favorite lines of any movie ever.
I'm not drinking any more fucking Merlot.
Oh my god, it's so great. And that movie, just a tangent, that movie got me to drink Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
Because I was a Merlot drinker.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
And then you were like, fuck
just
this
kind of
Merlot.
started getting into red wine because, oh my god, there's no greater buzz in the world. But
oh my god, I get so emotional. Are you serious?
You get emotional?
Oh god, I get super depressed or something. I don't know what it is.
I just melt. When I drink red wine, I just get really fuzzy and warm.
It takes me like 2 bottles of wine to get drunk, though.
Jesus.
It does. It takes me so much wine. I'll have like 3 glasses of wine. No, I'll have like 3 glasses, and I'm like, all right, so what's next? Not kidding. It takes me so... But then once I get wine drunk, it's like, ooh.
Your tolerance is all fucked up there.
My tolerance, I have a high tolerance.
I think that's... But until a certain point.
Well, the only thing I don't have a tolerance for is shots.
Yeah, no one should. Oh, another tangent. Speaking of that, I have learned how to drink like an adult.
Like control yourself?
Yeah, I think that's what I mean. I think it started New Year's, and maybe even a couple of nights before New Year's. Yeah, okay. Okay. Let's back this all the way up a bit. So Christmas night. I think we talked about that last night.
Drinking like adult is no longer blacking out.
Right. So Christmas night, not like an adult. Went out, drank way too much, but a bunch of beers, drinks, then shots. Okay, blackout city, horrible, sick the next day, sick for 2-3 days actually after that one. But since then, New Year's Eve, went out with my buddies, went out to Afton Alps, partied from like 9:30 to 1 in the morning. Drinking, actually started drinking maybe even like at 7:30, 8. Mm-hmm. Drank all night, no shots. Did not touch a shot. The only thing that I shot was a thing of champagne at midnight.
Right.
And I had a great time. There's never, because what I'm always afraid of when I'm not being an adult is like I'm not gonna enjoy myself because I'm so sober, which is what a fucking sad concept that is.
I mean, but I feel like that's like a pretty normal.
Right.
That's like a pretty normal reaction to alcohol. And like people think that's sad, but I don't really think it's sad because alcohol makes you feel great and alcohol makes you like lose your inhibitions.
When how badly do we feel for the pregnant chick that can't drink, or the, like, you know what I mean, or you don't go like, hey, awesome for you, it's New Year's Eve and you're not drinking tonight. You go, oh, you know, I mean,
well,
obviously this is for a good reason.
Choice, and then I'm like, well, okay, good for you, like
right.
That's good, great, but. Right. I would rather drink than not drink
for
no occasion.
Point being that I think we completely agree that when you're out with friends, you want to at least have a really good buzz going, right? Like,
sure, I want to have fun.
So for me, I think what I usually do is I always take that step too far, where it's instead of just staying at that nice little steady buzz, you always go, well, now I've got a really good buzz. Let's do shots, or switch drinks to something you shouldn't be drinking. You know what I mean?
Okay. I think part of that is fine. Like, I'd rather not black out. Like, sometimes I do, and I'd rather not. But
I knew there was a big butt coming.
but I feel like I've also become an adult in my drinking because I don't do this. Like, I'm able to control the really stupid things that I used to do as a young adult or minor drinking. Like, I used to do really stupid, embarrassing things, and I think as long as you can, like, wake up in the morning and say, like, wow, I feel just fine with all of the actions I did last night and the choices I made. I think that's okay. Like, who cares if you got drunk?
Do those mornings include ever checking your phone to see the text you sent?
No, because I don't send texts anymore when I'm drunk.
Oh,
so that's my thing. Like, I'm past this whole
is there an app for that or something?
No,
I want my phone to test my blood alcohol. Now we found a reason for testing blood alcohol. It would be the greatest. It would just lock my texts.
Yeah,
like literally.
there are apps for that.
I'm gonna have to probably.
There are apps for that. But no, I do not really drunk text anymore. I do not get in fights. And
wait a minute, are we talking physical altercations?
Yeah, physical altercations.
With chicks or with anyone?
I don't even want to go there right now. It doesn't matter.
Oh, we'll go there someday.
When I get angry, I'll just say that. So there's no anger, there's no drunk texting, there's no like really bad sexual decisions happening. And I feel like that's I go home, I like drink some water, even if I'm really drunk. I take my dog out and I wake up and I'm productive. Like, that's okay to me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing that. I'm like doing that like once a week.
Well, and you're younger than me too. When I was your age, I would have been happy to be doing what you're doing.
Yeah, but
I was still making
I think that's fine.
But
I think at your age, what you're doing is fine.
But it wasn't, and here's why. Because I paid for it for 2 days. You know, the
now,
hangovers.
You mean?
Yeah, when I wasn't acting like an adult, you know, pre-Christmas or up till Christmas, drinking wasn't worth it. Like, I somehow every few weeks or a month would still make it, or try to make myself think it was worth it, and get too crazy and then be sick for days. But it just really became where it wasn't even fun, to where I was going, I'm just going to quit drinking. Like, because, like I was saying, I didn't think I could have fun without getting blackout, basically, I guess. Which is, God, again, sad. But I figured out how to not do that. Yeah.
So you can go out now and, like, have a really great night and have a late night and, like, not black out, but, like, still get pretty buzzed, and then wake up and be okay.
And here's my line. My line is, I can't drive home, but I feel fine the next day.
Okay.
And that's
I like that line.
That is the sweet spot.
That is the sweet spot, when you can go home and you remember going home and you remember like taking care of yourself, and you wake up in the morning and you're like able to be productive and you don't feel like hell.
Right. I can even handle, you know, a little slight headache. You know, whatever. I don't mind if
like
I wake up and I know I drank the other day. Yeah. That doesn't bother me. It's when I wake up and go, I am never drinking again. This is the worst feeling ever.
I feel so anxious and horrible.
The anxiety.
And the anxiety is bad.
So not worth it.
Always got to have Xanax on hand. Or you're an adult when you just have Xanax on hand and ibuprofen on hand and some Gatorade on hand. You're prepared for your hangover.
I need to get myself a script. All right, well, let's take a quick break. When we're going to come back, we have a lot to get to still. It's going to depend on how serious we want to be.
Uh-oh.
I think we should... let's go Boyhood. You want to talk about Boyhood? Let's not get serious yet. I'm
going to get another drink.
Will you slurp it a couple more times on air or so we can hear that?
Sure, hang on. I'm going to get another drink.
I might have to go into the show tonight and cut that out and have that sound effect for you.
I think it works for our show in general.
Absolutely. It definitely suits the show. All right, we are going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, and we're going to talk about, well, I'll review Boyhood, and you're going to review what?
Oh, Wild.
Yeah, so we'll come back and do that in just a moment right here on the Minnesota Pubcast.
Hey everybody, Rusty Gatenby here. So you think you've got a bad commute? Michael Francis is a Minnesota father raising his family in Orono, but he works in California, Hollywood, California.
You know, aside from the freeze-thaw cycle, which can be weekly in the winter, it is well-coordinated calendar planning.
Michael is a top executive at DreamWorks. His boss is Steven Spielberg.
Wear Creative Cocktail. I happen to be wearing a vintage gown, long gown.
So is Michael.
Yeah, that's right.
Together with his wife, Britt Kyla Francis, they have helped organize a one-of-a-kind charity event at the Mall of America Sunday night.
The Golden Globes, I think, of all the award shows, is always the most fun to attend, because it has got great energy and it's lively and often champagne-fueled.
That's right, they're bringing the Golden Globe experience to you, and it's all to benefit St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
Our daughter was treated there for brain cancer 6 years ago.
The most remarkable thing about the hospital is that it's a research center, so in real time they share all of their research and protocols with every other hospital.
It might be cold outside, but Sunday night at the Red Carpet for Hope, the Radisson Blu Hotel will be a Hollywood hot spot.
In addition to the dinner and watching the show, where there'll be a few special moments within the show for our guests.
It's a one-of-a-kind Golden Globe event. Check out the Red Carpet for Hope For more information, check out the Rusty Gatenby Review.
Hi, I'm Terry Daniel, and I've been a voice actor in Minneapolis for over 2 decades now. How often are you getting compliments on your voice? Now is the time to do something about it. If you're interested in getting into voiceovers, please contact me via my website at universalvoicetalent.com.
Oh, we mixed it up. It's Black Keys today. Yesterday it was some Beatles.
I'm trying to, like I said, I'm bringing the production value up. We're gonna have all kinds of music, and you feel free to throw me some tracks that you want to put on your.
No, you're doing a great job. I like to be surprised. I feel like I'm one of those people that kind of needs to control the playlist sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I'm always the one. Like if I'm like the weekend that Luce and I just had, I have Spotify Premium for a reason, so that I'm the one with the best options, so that I can control the options.
That's $10 a month, right?
It's $10 a month, and
it's worth it, isn't it?
Totally worth it.
I need to get it. But anyway, so you're what are you saying though?
I have to be in control, and sometimes it's just nice to just not think about it. Because I'm such a control freak.
Well, and that's where I'm glad that you said that, because if I were in your shoes and you were playing music, or if we were vice versa, and you were playing music that I didn't like, I would not like that. Like that would mess up the vibe of the show to me.
You've like the 3 different songs. That's it. 3 different songs that we've played on the show.
Right.
Have all been from my favorite bands in the world.
Good. Well, then we are on the same page. Yeah. As I think we have been in a lot of ways. All right, movie review time. Now we need settle down. Terry Daniel. We need you, man. We need like an open for our movie reviews, but we'll work on that. Like I said, production value will go up in 2015. So Boyhood. Last night I decided to go home, and I rented Boyhood because it's down to $5 now on PlayStation. Yes.
Oh, it's $5 on PlayStation.
On Amazon. On Amazon. I didn't. What did I say last night? I said, like Kaivu or something. I said something like totally, like the word was just completely wrong. Everybody knew what I meant, obviously.
I like Amazon better than Amazon.
It is actually a cooler word, isn't it?
Let's go to Amazon and buy some shit.
Amazon. Click through the Amazon banner. But no, so I went on there last night, $5, and oh man.
Okay, 3 hours long.
It's 2:45.
Okay.
Okay, I will say this. As I'm watching it, the whole time, it was one of those movies where I'm going, I love this the whole time.
Okay.
And so I love, that's so rare. But I did at one point I hit pause to go, am I going to go grab something to eat, or am I going to bed here soon?
Okay.
And I hit pause, and there's a fucking hour left. So I'm like,
Holy
wow.
shit.
Well, I was a little deeper into this, but all right. So, so instead of, being like, oh, I'll watch the rest tomorrow or something, no, I went and grabbed that snack and was like, all right, let's watch the next hour of this. First of all, I like to give Rotten Tomato score, or like my own. I got to give it like a 93. I mean, it's in the 90s for
and
sure.
What is it on Rotten Tomatoes?
Ooh, good question.
What is it really on Rotten Tomatoes? And
yeah,
it's the movie. It's the movie that's been filmed over 12 years.
Yes.
With Patricia Arquette.
Yep, Patricia Arquette.
And Ethan Hawke. And
don't know the kid's name.
Yeah, he's kind of a
newbie. But I recognize him. Like, he's obviously done other stuff.
He has?
Yeah. Or at least I thought I recognized him. He sure seemed like I had seen him before. Okay, where are we at here? You'd think this would be.
You could go to Certified Fresh is kind of their thing. Oh, here we go. Boyhood. 98. Wow.
Now, okay.
Oh, wow. Selma has 100%. That's pretty impressive.
Now, have you heard okay, last night I saw Royce kind of bashing Selma. Did you see why?
No.
Apparently, they're showing LBJ as being against the march in Selma or something. I didn't see the specifics. We're talking Twitter here.
Sure.
But basically, Royce was like, I will not see this movie because it is totally portraying LBJ incorrectly.
Really?
Which, to me...
But how would he know?
Well, but he was alive. I mean, it was a fact that LBJ... I mean, what I'm saying, from what I got from what Royce tweeted, it's pure historical fact, LBJ
Okay.
was not against this thing, and then the movie made it that it was. That was what Royce said.
Well,
at
why?
least.
Okay.
But no, what I wrote, my response to his tweet was, well, there must not have been enough drama in the situation. They had to make it more dramatic. Like, what the are you kidding? Like, what do you need to add drama to this
Well,
for?
that's what I'm saying.
Like,
Well,
this is crazy.
Okay, and that's what I'm like, was there some this person that worked with LBJ that, you know, is now coming forward and just saying, well, he you know, publicly he was for it, and kind of undercovered all he really didn't want to be.
Sure.
You know, that type of thing.
There might be some of that.
Yeah, you know,
but
where
I
it was
swear
kinda like,
I
wow.
thought I saw before I
Well,
saw
how
Royce
does
say
he know?
anything.
And how does he know how against it they portrayed him to be
But
if he
that's
hasn't seen it?
Well, what I'm saying is I'm pretty sure I saw a story from a historian that wrote a book on LBJ that was upset about the movie. So
Okay.
he must have seen it or heard snippets or whatever it is. But anyway,
Find something to be
that's-
pissed about.
First of all, it's 100% I'm going to see it no matter what.
I'm gonna go see
but
it.
But it pisses me off if you're going to do something that's historical like that. Do it accurately. Especially that is so... The story itself, it doesn't need any twists. It doesn't need any little change in the narrative. It's a great story as it is, and
Right.
the MLK story, we already know it. You don't need to twist it up. I don't quite
Right,
understand
unless
that.
there's something that came out, like I said, from a report or a staff member that is saying something, you know, I don't know. But
I can totally
let's go see it.
understand that side.
Remember
And
when
yes.
we were first reviewing the top movies of the year, and I was like, Selma. We were both like, what the fuck, Selma? Like,
And
we
then-
couldn't have put together that Selma was the march.
Well, I
Like, come on. Like, that's embarrassing.
I knew the significance of Selma.
I didn't know the significance of Selma.
Did
It
you
didn't,
really not?
it
I
didn't
remembered it
click
from
in
history
until
class.
I saw
just when we said movie Selma, I'm like, well, what? I mean, I assumed it was something about race, but I had no idea that it was about MLK.
Okay.
I had no idea.
It didn't click until I saw the trailer.
Okay. But anyway, so back to
embarrassing.
Boyhood though. 98%. Like I said, I'd give it in the 90s for sure. But here's there's a lot of people I think. A lot of people that have never seen a Linklater movie, I think might see this and go, meh. You know, like.
Okay.
But because I've seen most of his movies, and especially like the Before Sunrise and After Midnight and whatever. I can't remember. I can never get the titles of those correctly. but you know what I'm talking about. I think that because I saw those, my expectation for this movie was for it to be another Linklater movie. You know, I think somebody who's never seen Linklater would be like, "Wow, God, where's the action?" You know, like there's not a lot of action in his movies. You know, it's a dialogue.
I haven't seen a lot of his movies,
Have
but
you not? Okay.
I'm also I love action movies, but I'm also very like, I like movies that just make you think, dude.
Yes.
You know, and just
that's what
sit
this does.
and
that's
just
what it
sit
does.
and watch. I love that.
And here's what I took away from it. And again, I know you want to see it, and I don't think I'm going to ruin anything for
No.
you. But what this movie the message from this movie to me was that you just stop expecting life to be something.
Okay, so it wasn't uplifting.
No, it was in an uplifting way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, it was like we all think like, you know, I'm a kid and then I graduate and then and this isn't necessarily his story because he got his parents and everything too.
Sure.
But then you get married and then you have children. And then after that, then this comes, and it's we always feel like there's some kind of finish line too.
Well, and there's like a
certain point
lineage.
where you make it.
Well, and there's like what's supposed to happen.
Exactly.
You know, like what
Expectations.
Yeah, exactly. Expectations. Like where are you supposed to be at 26?
Right.
And what are you supposed to accomplish? And yeah, it can be really disappointing when you're not at societal perspectives. And I think that's why a lot of people get married a little too young still, you know. And it's like, it's okay where you are. It's okay. I have to keep telling myself that.
No, I think that's what this says, and I agree with it. And another thing, what I really like about Linklater though is, and did you see Waking Life? I thought
No.
you had, okay.
I haven't seen that.
I'll bring that for you, and you didn't bring Mean Girls for me, did you?
I did.
Oh, you did.
I
Wow,
have
okay.
that. I'm gonna take it out of my backpack right now.
Perfect. All right, so I'm going to bring Waking Life for you because Waking Life is animated and is done so differently that it's hard to compare to any movie. But every scene of Waking Life is kind of like its own little mini movie, and I felt like Boyhood, even though it's a linear thing from this kid's. He's 6 to 18 or whatever it is. It's perfectly linear, and there's a constant narrative. But at the same time, and now Tony Dean's got me using narrative all the time. But now
The wild narrative.
yes. But every scene there is like its own little mini movie. Which I guess actually, when you're doing it over 12 years, they kind of probably had to kind of film it that way. It was like,
sure.
hey, we got 2 weeks here. Come on over, and then we'll
Yeah.
make this, and then go away. So every scene kind of is its own movie. But it's so well written. It's so well acted. I will say this. I don't think the fact that you use the same kid for 12 years, the same actors and everything, because Ethan Hawke, in fact, he grows a mustache almost just to make him look different.
Sure.
Because a man between the ages of 35 and 45 or whatever, there's not a
doesn't change
whole
too
lot of
much.
change there. But the kid obviously really does. But I don't think, the concept was really cool, and I have nothing against the way he did it, but I don't think it was necessarily to be completely redundant.
That's kind of like, but isn't that kind of the whole point of the movie? Is so that it's like this kind of, it's this like reflection of actual life. I mean, that's
maybe that would be how he would explain it.
Nobody else does this. It would, if it had been filmed in a year, would it have had the same impact on you?
I think it would. I think you could tell the story the same way.
Interesting.
I think you could have taken a kid, but I think maybe the tough part would have been casting a kid that you could believe was different between the ages of 6 and 8.
Sure, but I think that's
the
really
tough part.
compelling. That it's a same. You see this person grow up physically in the real world as well as in their character, and I think that's really interesting. I haven't seen it, but that's what would be interesting to me.
I'd
like
be
12
curious
year,
to see
dang.
what you think when you do see it.
Okay.
If you agree with that, I think because I'm not saying you're wrong at all, because
No.
I understand where you're coming from, and I would say the reason this movie became so popular was because it was filmed this way.
And he did it well that way.
Yes,
and he
but it
did
gave
it
you an
right.
in to begin with. You could be kind of like, oh, I've never heard of Linklater, but oh wow, he did 12 years, really, same cast. Oh, that's interesting. So maybe you draw in a little extra audience just with that.
Well, so interesting point. Someone on Slate, cultural, whatever it's called, Gabfest, they said that they feel like if another really good director were to take kind of that concept of filming it over 12 years, they probably could have done a better job.
Really?
Yeah.
So they're saying he wasted it, kind of?
They're like, oh, it was great. And I think that's the reason why people like it, is because it was just he did a good job over these 12 years, but it could have been something so much crazier with a different director. I don't know which director. I don't know that, but
maybe that's kind of what I'm saying too, is that it didn't seem utilized enough.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to go through all that work and get us cast, this is the crazy part.
I mean, do you see, changes in, technology? And
oh, yeah.
Okay. And
they do that really well.
Okay.
They do that really well. But, again, that would be easier for them, because you just have Ethan Hawke use his real phone. He has an iPhone 3 at the time.
It's not reconstructed.
No, that's true.
It's not
that's
a
true.
memory of how did I use my video cassette player back in 1995, and then trying to recreate that, how you used whatever, whether it was the first kind of cell phones or pager or whatever it was, recreating that for now.
Well, you nailed something, because he absolutely uses technology as a way for you to. It's a signpost for you to know where you are in time.
Yeah.
And he uses music the same way.
I like
keeps
that.
Keeps using music from the time.
Okay.
As he's going.
Great segue. Are you done with this?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Are you done with Voyage? Because
really
I'm over it. No, I'm just kidding.
Jesus.
It's actually really interesting. It's like a movie that I've talked about so much that I haven't even seen it yet. And nothing's been given away to me. I've been talking about it a lot, and I keep talking about different people and talking about their reactions, and I haven't even seen it yet myself.
No, well, now you can go on Amazon or PlayStation. I'm sure it's on both.
Well, I am okay. PlayStation I don't have right now. But
wait, hold on. We need to devote 30 seconds to this.
How
are you watching television right now?
Well, I have my Comcast, and I watch my Netflix and my HBO Go on my computer if I need to. I had a PlayStation, and it got broken. So we're gonna move on from that.
That's the worst.
It's a sad story.
R.I.P.
Someone owes me a
PS3.
PlayStation.
That is
I love
the saddest
them.
stories I've
I
ever
love them,
heard.
and I'm not mad. They just owe me a PlayStation, and naturally they haven't gotten around to buying me a $200 PlayStation yet. So.
Don't you wait? Hold on! Don't you bump it up to a PS4 now?
No, I don't.
No,
they replaced the thing that they broke. I mean, I guess they could pay for the PS4. like the same price they would pay for the PS3, and then I could make up the difference.
You make up the difference.
Yeah.
See, now
I
we're
like
talking.
that idea.
I mean, I don't know. Are you a gamer?
No, well, here's the thing. I have some games, and I really liked the fact that I had my Blu-ray, and I had my games, and I had the streaming, because I was like, oh, I could just get Apple TV,
Yep,
right?
Yep.
But then I was
or a
like,
Chromecast,
whatever.
or
But then it
Fire
was like,
Stick,
but
or-
I liked my Blu-ray, and I liked the option to have games, and I liked the PS3 console, even though I didn't necessarily game all the time.
Okay. Well, so then PS4 would work.
Okay.
I mean, I guess what I was getting at is if you're basically just using it as a Google Chrome, you know, I mean, if you're just using it for that, then it doesn't matter.
I'm using it for a Blu-ray. I mean, I could get a Blu-ray player with a streamer in it, but then it's like, well, I might as well just get the PS4 because then I have the option for games.
But the only difference, I guess, there's going to be whether or not you like the better graphics of new games.
Sure.
So that would be the only
Sure,
difference.
and if I'm only going to play a few games, then I might as well get,
just go with
splurge.
the PS. Well, depends. I was going to say just go with the PS3
I was
if
like,
you already
oh,
have the games you like, but...
I guess. I don't know.
Hold on, though. One more thing as we just go on Tangentville tonight. Did you have games that you had purchased downloaded into that PlayStation?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because if somebody destroyed my PlayStation right now, I would lose MLB and I would lose a racing game that I bought for my nephew.
Oh, okay.
So you better not destroy
Okay,
my
I
PS.
do
That's
need
for sure.
game like advice though. So if anyone has great games, whether it's you or someone listening, please tweet at us, Pubcast or MK Burke, because I just want some good games to play.
All right.
That like, I can just turn on a Saturday and just play for a little bit. I'm not like a huge gamer, so I don't want to like have to beat something.
Well, that's like this.
Like I love like Sonic. Like I love
Did
like
you-
racing games and Sonic.
Just
And
gonna
like
say, I literally have Sonic All-Stars Racing.
See?
That's what I bought for my
Love
nephew.
that.
It's like Mario Kart on steroids.
Yeah, and I
That's all
got
it is.
my Madden and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway.
Oh my God. Okay, so my
about
review.
digression.
No kidding. So I saw Wild.
Yes.
Which
is the what now one? What's her name?
It's based on the novel by Cheryl Strayed, the memoir by Cheryl Strayed, and it stars Reese Witherspoon.
Reese. Okay. That's why I always forget that she's the one in that. And then, but who else is in it?
Laura Dern.
Okay.
Who was in Jurassic Park years ago.
Yeah,
She's Enlightened on HBO. And
Yeah, I was
she's
gonna say
a great
she's been in a
actress.
TV show or two. Yeah.
Yeah, she's great, and she plays in the flashback. She plays Cheryl's mother,
Okay.
who passed away, and so Cheryl is actually from here, from Minneapolis, moved out to Portland, and the whole novel is essentially following this kind of lead up to this 4 horrible years, and she decides she needs to change her life at 26, so at my age, which is probably why I related to it so much. I read the novel first, or the memoir, and then I saw the movie, and she hikes the PCT, Pacific Crest Trail, which goes from California all the way up to Washington. And it's a hard trail, and she's like not really a hiker. She's in shape, but she's not like a professional hiker or anything like that. And it not only follows like the hiking shit that she has to go through, but the people that she meets. And then it kind of flashes back in the middle of the book and in the middle of the movie to her life growing up with her mother and the shit that they went through. And it was pretty dark and hard. And I was reluctant to read this book because I didn't connect with Eat, Pray, Love, which is another kind of like memoir of a woman finding herself that women really connected with. And I was really excited to read it, and then I was kind of disappointed and I got really bored. And so I was like, oh, it's just going to be like Eat, Pray, Love. It's going to be one of those finding herself thing, blah, blah. And then I found out that my sister, who lives in Portland, is friends with Cheryl. And I was like, that's fucking cool. Like, I better read this book. And I loved it. And I don't think I was being biased because my sister knows Cheryl. Like, I loved it. I think she's a brilliant writer. I think the story isn't uncommon, but I think it's interesting the way she told it. And I don't think it's whiny like a lot of people do. And Reese Witherspoon in the movie was amazing, and it was a really cool adaptation. And the coolest part about the music in that is that it's music that is of that time period. So it's not like this overarching new soundtrack. It's from, I think she hiked it in like 95 or 99 or something. So it's like Bruce Springsteen, and it's Simon and Garfunkel, and it's songs that were around and she listened to and she had repeated in her head, and it'll come in her when it comes in her head in the movie. It plays over the soundtrack, and she'll be like, "Sing it, Bruce," and then it'll fade out when it kind of fades out of her head, kind of like when you're stuck in a thought.
Yeah.
It's really cool how they do it, and it's a really awesome adaptation, and it's one of Reese Witherspoon's like raw performances. I wouldn't say it's anything I don't know if she should win the Oscar for it, but she was really, really, really great. So
I don't read a lot of fiction.
it's not fiction.
It's
not fiction.
I guess I don't read a lot of things that get turned into movies. I guess is where I was going.
It's a memoir.
Right. I'm trying to.
I mean,
what's the last great memoir movie that you can think of?
Like memoir book.
Well, something like that. Something similar to this. I can't think of anything
actually,
right
I really liked Walk the Line.
Okay.
Which also has Reese Witherspoon in it.
No, but also, decent flick, yeah.
I'm trying to think of, depicting a person's life, like Selma?
Yeah, I guess that's...
Or, or something that someone wrote about their life that has turned into a movie.
Maybe more of that.
I don't know, I can't think of it.
I guess all I was going with there is just that I've never read anything that I've seen put on screen that ever did it justice, I don't think.
Lord of the Rings?
I didn't read Lord of the Rings. I didn't like Lord of the Rings, remember?
Oh my
I was
God.
not a Lord of the Rings fan. I thought those movies were boring as hell.
There's gotta be movies that you think are just as good as the book.
I probably just haven't read the books. But the first thing that pops into my head is the Vince Flynn books. He always was talking about making them into movies at some point, and I guarantee you that whoever they cast as Mitch Rapp would not be good enough for me, and they would ruin the story somehow. And that concept of going from book to movie is always scary to me, and that's why I just never read the book.
Scary.
Because you're always going to be more impressed with the book, right? In this case, was it better book but then good movie, or is it both as good?
Yeah, I would say, I love Cheryl's writing so much, and the book obviously had more time to go into her relationships with the people she met on the trail. There was less of that in the movie. There was a little more focusing on, she got married at 22 and then got divorced, and there was a lot of focusing on her relationship with her ex-husband, which was fine. That was part of the book, and it didn't over-dramatize it, but it definitely focused on it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, did you know that Silence of the Lambs was a book? Okay, this is going to embarrass myself.
That would be one where that movie was so good that means that book is either actually not very good or the best book ever.
Sure, okay, The Road, that was also...
Oh my God, okay, that is one I have read the book and did see the movie. The movie almost did it justice, but it was still... When I'm doing it in my head, it's better. I just feel like the way I visualize it is better because I did it first, though, I think.
Okay, what about Stephen King novels turned into movies like The Shining and Carrie?
Shining was amazing. It was awful.
The Shining book was awful?
No, The Shining was awesome. The movie It was awful. Did you ever read It or see It?
Yeah, but the movie It is awful, but I'm talking about The Shining the book and Shining the movie.
That's what I'm saying. So Shining, I never read the book, but the movie is amazing, so I would imagine the book is great.
Okay.
But the book is good, and the movie is horrible.
Yeah, the movie sucks.
But I was also 10 years old when I tried to read that, which if you have a 10-year-old out there, please do not let them read
One
that book.
Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, one of the best books and one of the best movies.
I don't think I've seen that movie.
Oh, it's so... Oh,
and I think it's on Netflix.
To Kill a Mockingbird?
To Kill a Mockingbird.
One of the best movies and one of the best books.
Well, I mean, that
this
one's
list
going to
is
go down
killing
forever, yeah.
We're on GamesRadar.com, by the way. Jurassic Park was just a great movie. Oh, Laura Dern's in that
was
movie.
a book, I don't think.
Yeah, Jurassic by Michael.
Oh, Michael Crichton, right?
Yeah, Michael Crichton. American Psycho. Haven't read the book. Great movie.
Great movie, yes.
Sorry, I'm still going. The Godfather. Well, yeah.
Are you a Godfather gal? Did you love that movie?
You know me. I haven't spent any time watching The Godfather, and I haven't spent any time watching The Sopranos. I haven't.
Well, you have seen The Sopranos.
I know, but I have to watch The Godfather.
I
watched The Godfather when I was younger, and it didn't mean anything to me, and I have to take the time to delve into these Italian mobster entertainment because people get mad at me.
I'll bring that with Waking Life, just so, and you can watch it at your leisure because I'll never watch it again. But everyone has to at least see that film.
The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
It was a good movie to me. I was wondering what the hype was about after that movie.
Oh, did you read the books though?
No.
Oh, the books were great.
I'm sure the books were great, yeah.
But
that movie was good. But to me, I wasn't going, whoa, what a story.
You saw the American version of the...
Yeah, the American version,
yeah. I liked it. Bridget Jones' Diary.
Did you see was it
movies.
Swedish? What was the original?
True. Swedish. It's supposed to be amazing.
You haven't seen it though? Okay.
I haven't seen it, but it's supposed to be incredible.
Yeah, I want to say Tommy Mischke was singing praises about that when it came out.
Yeah, people tend to really like that one. Harry Potter had some good...
Yeah.
We need to talk about movies. Kevin, apparently, was a book that turned into a movie.
Kevin?
We need to talk about Kevin. Have you ever seen it?
Never heard of it.
It's so terrifying.
Is it good? Or
yes.
Just, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
so
really
terrifying
good.
Isn't a bad thing necessarily.
It's really dark. It's with Tilda Swinton.
Dark.
Yeah, it's really fucked up. So anyway, okay, sorry, that's enough. But
No, that was interesting.
But anyway, read if you're, people keep asking me, should I read Wild? It's like my guy friends. I'm like, no. I mean, I don't know. It's very. I'm a 26-year-old female, and it's written from a 26-year-old female, and she's an amazing writer. But I don't know if it would connect on a level with other people.
Do you think that I would enjoy the movie? I don't think I would read that book, but
I don't know. I mean, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I'm trying to put myself in your shoes.
Yeah.
I think you'd find it kind of boring.
In general, I don't like chick flick type stuff.
I mean,
anything
it's
that's
not
coming from a
chick-
chick's perspective
Okay.
is
That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't connect to it. It's not chick flicky. It's
No,
very.
I don't mean like
interesting.
sappy or
Right.
romantic or anything, but just just coming from a female perspective. But here's what's weird about that is I feel like there's a million movies that are totally coming from a male perspective that 75% of women would relate to. And
women have a little
we're in a very
easier-
maternal society or
Okay.
a matriarchal society or patriarchal society. Sorry.
Yeah, but women have a much easier time putting themselves in other people's shoes.
Oh, that's true. That's
Sorry.
very true.
I mean,
that
like,
makes sense.
We do. We're much more able to feel people's emotions on all aspects, where men are very they're stuck in their own head. Sorry.
Well, we're morons, yeah. We're
Fucking
cavemen,
idiots.
really. And I completely admit that. I have no problem admitting that. All right, we're getting short on time, but I want to get your opinion on this.
Okay.
Zach Parisi's dad died.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen the headlines and all
I
this.
did.
When he went out, he sat out a couple of nights ago for the game. Who was that? I don't even remember who they played a couple of nights ago, but he sat that game out. Because his father was on his deathbed.
Yeah.
I understand that. But what I want to ask you is where do you stand on the professional obligation of an athlete? There's a lot of Brett Favre played the day after his dad died. I want to say a lot of players play. Even if their wife's having a baby, they don't take the day off, and then sometimes they do, and they get chastised for it or praised, whatever. But I'm curious because okay at your job right now. If your dad died, do you get time off of work?
Yeah.
How much?
A lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd get a lot.
Okay.
I have a really
Is there a grieving period thing that they have set up in your policy
days,
and all that?
Yeah, there's personal days. There's tons of sick days, which I can use for just about anything.
Okay.
And then I probably even have the opportunity, if something personally is going on, to have a little leeway with my HR schedule. So
would they go as far as providing therapy?
I don't know. I mean, I don't
to
think
talk to
so.
somebody? Okay.
I don't think so. I mean, I think that's kind of like a personal choice.
Yeah. And I think maybe you should be paying for that personally.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, yeah. I think that's a personal choice.
Yeah.
The health care is there. It's provided to me if I want it. The insurance, I should say. So, on that note, I don't think athletes have any any moral obligation to play surrounding something personal like that, whether it's a birth of their child or a death of a family member. I think they should be allotted.
Do you hold it against the guy that says, no, I'm going to play?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Because some people go out there and they say, if my dad would want me to play, I want to play.
I'm saying on the pregnancy part.
Oh,
when
no.
when your wife's going into birth,
I
or you're going to labor, your man's like, I gotta pitch this ball game, I don't know. How do you look at that?
I for that, I'd be like, you better fucking be here.
Right?
You better be here.
I would
but
expect
if it's a
that
thing
I'm
where
expected to be there.
if it's a choice that husband and wife, or husband and husband, or wife and wife have made and said, no, I want you to do what you love to do, and I'm, you're gonna be supporting me and you're gonna be right here. My mom's here, my sister's here, whatever it is. I can't judge that. I'd be like, you need to be here and you're taking that time off. I want my husband or my partner or whoever there when I have a kid, but I can't personally say anything for other people. And I think if they need the time off, they take the time off. If they would rather be there and play and say, if Parisi says my dad would want me to do this, I'm playing for my dad tonight, go for it.
What if...
Is he playing tonight?
I doubt it.
Okay.
I highly, highly doubt it. I didn't see any reports, but I would imagine he's not.
Sure.
Is there a side, though, where you can say, look, okay, if you, as your business, let's say you're VP of operations, you
Sure.
know, you being gone for 4 or 5 days is going to affect the company. It's going to maybe affect the bottom line to the point where it's affecting shareholders and, you know, blah, blah, blah. It's trickled down to all kinds of other people are affected. And I think you could definitely say, like, when it comes to a sports team, you know, the best player in your team is a very important figure and is going to, him playing or not, is going to affect wins and losses, which affects your business. Does that matter at all? You've got 10 seconds.
Oh my God. I mean, no, I don't think anything is important. I put so much value on mental health, whether it's grieving or celebration, and being there for your family, which matters the most. And to me, fuck that shit, you know, like, who cares? The world is going to be okay. The world is going to keep moving if you miss a couple days of work.
Agreed. JP Parisi, rest in peace. Zach
Yeah.
and your family. I hope you know. I wish the best for you. It's a tough time. Can't imagine going through what you're going through. And hopefully we'll see you back on the ice for the struggling Wild as soon as possible. But you take as long as you need, man. Anything else to add?
No, go Wild.
That's it. We'll see you next week on the next edition of the Minnesota Pubcast.